I heard there was this podcast, yo, about something funny like wrestling and so. And you really care about wrestling, don't you? There are drop kicks and leases all over the board, and then something called a wrestling hold. It's a super duper fun podcast about wrestling. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. Well, Fro and Bill and maybe a guest or two is here to hold your hand and guide you through a podcast about wrestling. We have a lot of extreme fun, and that's without the gun, because I needed something to rhyme fun with. That wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show. Well, sit your behinds gently down and listen to our podcast sound and try to guess this week's Pro question. You win a lot of cool things and also help Bill with his bills. That's a super duper fun competition. That wrestling show. 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 That wrestling show.
Everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And Fro, we had quite an exciting weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better Royal Rumbles I've seen in many years, to be honest.
Yeah.
We will talk about it, but what a women's match. Wow. That just set the tone for that pay-per-view.
There was I thought, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good outweighing the bad, to me. But
I mean, there wasn't any awful matches. There was one awful decision, and I will probably rant about that because
right.
I can feel the anger inside of me just thinking about it.
Well.
But and you can I think you can probably guess what that decision was.
I think so.
Yes, but really, it was one of the better Royal Rumbles. I would say the men's was kind of predictable. But other than that, I don't really have anything huge to complain about other than one decision that I went, wow, they're still doing this. Okay.
Right. But yeah, we don't, I mean, really, folks, we're going to mainly talk about TakeOver and the Royal Rumble.
And TakeOver, I, funny enough, just saw 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What a good weekend for wrestling all over.
Yeah, really is.
I have to ask you before we go into wrestling. On Sunday, there's something called a Bowl of Super.
Yes.
I've heard some rumors about. What are the two teams playing? I don't even know that.
Okay. It is the Los Angeles Rams and the New England Patriots.
Okay. I know the Patriots have won the Super Bowl before.
Many times.
I even think I saw one of the Super Bowls. They won, if I don't remember incorrectly.
Right.
I've watched the Super Bowl for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Is that a possibility? Have they won the last 5 years?
Yeah, they've won 2 within the last 5 years.
Ah, okay. So I have seen them winning. And what was the other team again?
The Los Angeles Rams.
I don't think I ever have seen them play in a Super Bowl the last 5 years. Have they been in the Super Bowl?
Not in the last 5 years. This is like their first one in 17, 18 years.
Can I guess who is the favorite?
Go for it.
Can I guess that it is the Patriots that are the favorite to win?
It is New England. Last that I saw, and actually I'll pull it up right now, they were favorites by here we go. The Patriots are a 2.5 point favorite as of this recording.
Is that a lot?
No. Not a lot.
No, it's not?
It's very close.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I feel stupid for asking this, but I'm a Norwegian, so I'm allowed to ask this.
Yes.
Because I know absolutely nothing about American hand egg. Was it a big shock that the Bucks, was that their name?
The Rams?
The Rams. It was something with horns. The Rams Bucks. Who cares? Was it a big shock that the Rams went into the Super Bowl?
Yes and no. I'm gonna start with the no first because they were like, what was their record during the regular season? 13-3.
Wow, that's bad.
No, that's good.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought
wins.
13. I thought 13 losses and 3 wins.
No.
Oh.
They won 13 games in the regular season.
I was like, that sounds awful.
Right. However, the surprise part is because of, and you probably have heard of it the last 2 weeks, the blown penalty that was supposed to have been called on the Rams. Which
do you really think I have heard about that?
I mean, unless you've been living under a rock the last 2 weeks.
I have not heard about that because I don't follow American football.
Then your stress level has been down a lot. So be careful about that. But no, Rams are a really good team. Patriots, it's the Patriots. They're either going to be in the Super Bowl every year or they're going to be in the mix. So them making it is not a surprise. So,
what are the two big names for both of the teams?
Well,
do they have like a super known player that I would know of?
Well, the Patriots have Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Him I know.
Yeah. The Rams, they have a young quarterback by the name of Jared Goff.
Ooh, I like his last name.
And this is his 3rd year playing professional football.
Wow.
And the head coach this is only his 2nd year as the head coach, And
Wow.
he's only 33 years old.
Ooh, young man.
So he is the youngest coach to ever make a Super Bowl. Youngest head coach, I
Wow.
should say.
I'm sorry, all people that are wanting us to talk about wrestling,
Well,
but I
no,
find
actually, this is pretty good
interesting.
because I had sort of told everyone that you were going to make your Super Bowl pick this week. So
Yes, of course. I kind of want to pick the underdogs because I always wanted underdogs to win. So I'm going with the Rams.
all right.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
I love underdog story. I was very happy when the Seahawks won. Hey, see, I remember.
well, I'll tell you, the Rams in about
What,
3
that
years.
that was the Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
I'm not making that up.
Right. No, Seahawks are
Okay.
well, I mean,
I'm like, oh shit, am I am I saying something wrong now?
no, you were right.
Yeah.
But no, like the Rams about 2 years ago, sucked. They just sucked. And then they moved from St. Louis to Los Angeles.
That's quite a move, isn't it?
It is. And then they got, like I said, this young coach. His name is Sean McVay, who is 33 years old. And in the first year, he turns them around. They win their division. They get to the playoffs. This year, they're in the Super Bowl. So, have to wait.
Oh, so they made a playoff to Super Bowl last year?
They made the playoffs last year, and they made the playoffs this year, and they got to the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's quite impressive for in a 2-year span for someone.
And as a 33-year-old coach, that must be that man has potential.
He's smart. He's very, very smart.
Would you say that because why did they move? That's one of the things I want to ask.
The main reason, if you want to go by the wording of the ownership,
right?
The main reason is the city of St. Louis would not build a new football stadium for the Rams because it would have cost hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe almost $1 billion. And the owner wanted, the taxpayers' money to help pay for the build of the new stadium. And the mayor's like, no, we're not doing that. So the owner's like, okay, well, screw you, we're moving. And Los Angeles, which had not had a football team in 20 plus years, gets a football team again.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess you're probably going to want my pick since you gave your pick.
Yes.
I think we're in for a good game. I really do. Of course,
I hope so.
Of course, I'm not going to break down into into the strategies and all that stuff. But as much as I want the Rams to win, and believe me, I do want them to win. I think they've been the best team all year from what I have watched. I hate to say it, folks, but I think the Patriots are going to win yet another Super Bowl.
I mean, it would not amaze me. Like I said, I just like going with underdogs. I just enjoy rooting for them. Do you want to tell the audience what you're going to do during the halftime show?
Oh, well, actually, you know what? Now, to be fair, I was thinking about it earlier this week. My original plan is not going to be taking a shower during the halftime. Well, maybe I could squeeze it in. Maybe I could squeeze a shower in during halftime. But I'll be uploading a new episode of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast, during halftime of the Super Bowl. So
I mean, we didn't make fun of you during Sunday at all.
Oh, God, no. Yeah. Heaven forbid, Oh.
No, we didn't make jokes like, "Why are you taking a shower during Super Bowl halftime?" And you said to me, "Oh, I don't like the people that's playing." And I go, "Well, that's kind of the point. It's fun to make fun of them." But yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. We had a nice time on Sunday. Thanks to Grass Dragon, aka my good friend and extremely good help, Alexander. Thanks to Luke also for hanging out with us. It was fun, and thanks to you for hanging out.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun to watch. Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about the Rumble a little later on. But yeah,
and the boys are getting back together already on Sunday. It's nice to have...
Yeah, about that. I'm going to be watching it with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Some of the boys are getting back already on Sunday. Some of the boys are watching it together. Yes.
All right, so we gave you our Super Bowl predictions. So there.
Yes. Let's move into something that's more interesting. What did you think of Tori Spelling being the unicorn?
Oh yeah.
Did you recognize her? Because I had no fucking clue.
No. She sort of threw me off.
Yeah, she totally
physical clue.
Yes.
So for those who don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about The Masked Singer, which at first I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. Like, I was thinking...
It is good!
Well, when I went into it, initially. Yeah. But after watching it, it's like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
It is. It's just the judges.
Yeah.
Although the judges were too annoying this week.
Oh, well, Kim totally knew who it was. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So, it actually, the unicorn was voted off. I was a little bit surprised. I thought the alien was going to go this week.
Yeah, I totally thought it was
I know who the alien is now.
You do?
I know it.
Okay, who is it?
It's LaToya Jackson.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
And
the height is right and everything.
But her clue, I just want to get into this real quick. Her physical clue gave it away this week. You remember what it was?
Was it no? It was the typewriter. That was for Tori Spelling. Was it the hair thing?
No.
No, what was it?
The police badge.
Oh, it was the police badge, yes.
As soon as I saw it and where it was from, it was like, yep, that's her. Because she did a reality show, oh God, this was years ago, called Armed and Famous. And it was a bunch of these celebrities who were trained to be cops in this town, Muncie, Indiana. Mm-hmm. And LaToya Jackson was on that show.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I saw
it was Indiana on the police badge as well.
Yeah. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, that's it. It's her. And I had to look back at who else was on that show. There was one other woman on that show. And I can tell you right now, it's not the other woman.
I have no clue who the lion is. The lion is really, really, really hard. The voice is amazing. Yeah. I think the lion is definitely a contender to win.
Who do you think the rabbit is?
It's definitely a magician. The clue was very, very. I wouldn't say obvious, but they have given clue about magicians before, and the clue was a magic set. Mm-hmm. Chris Angel?
That's who I'm thinking, because I watched the video, like when they do the video clues, and there was one part where the bunny is in like a restaurant, and on the window it says Brooklyn Pizza. So I'm like, okay, this person's from Brooklyn. Because for a while I thought it was Joey Fatone.
Yeah.
But after this week, I think it is Chris Angel.
I'm beginning to think that, but I have absolutely no clue who the Lion is. The Lion performance this week was out of town good.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking, and here's the thing though. I have thought this for a little while now. It's just a theory, because Nicole Scherzinger, is that her name? On the panel, she even said it this week. Like she said before that she's not a singer, and this week she's like, wow, this girl is a singer, and she definitely is. I have a sneaking suspicion that she's an ex-member of that group.
Very well could be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who else is in there. There's the Peacock. I think that's another magician. Although I'm still...
well, that was the 4 this week, though.
Right. But I'm still holding out hope of my original pick for who the Peacock is. Because my original thought was, it's Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Although
I hope that as well.
I'm rooting for the monster to win.
Oh, I after this week, I am totally Team Lion. I thought that was the best performance so far.
Oh, and for the record, the B, which is still in it, it's Gladys Knight.
Yeah.
It's Gladys.
Okay. It's so Gladys Knight. And we know Ricky Lake is there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think, she's the Raven.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about wrestling.
Let's get into some wrestling.
we just talked 20 minutes about everything else but wrestling. Welcome to that wrestling show.
Well, no, I mean, every once in a while, I think people like to, have something a little different to discuss.
Yeah. We don't have many news stories. That's why we're talking about other stuff. If we had enough news, we would talk about that instead.
Oh, real quick, one last piece of reality discussion.
Okay, sure.
Eva Marie is still on
I know.
Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
I so fucking hope she's going to be out. She is so boring.
I don't watch it, but
I watch it. Most because Tom Green is so funny in that show. He's so funny.
All right.
And he plays a really good game. Okay, enough.
Right. Now,
wrestling.
Okay, I think the big news that we should discuss outside of the weekend that we had is just a very interesting week in contract discussions. Because on Tuesday, word came out that Dean Ambrose was not going to re-sign with WWE once his contract expires in April. And it got to the point where WWE, and this may be a first, released a statement about this.
Yeah, I saw this. This was strange. They usually don't do things like this.
No, they never do. So
they don't care about rumors.
So for those who have not read this statement, I'm going to read the statement. And this is what they posted. Dean Ambrose, real name Jonathan Good. That's actually a pretty good name. Pardon the pun. Will not be renewing his contract with WWE when it expires in April. We are grateful and appreciative of all that Dean has given to WWE and our fans. We wish him well and hope that one day Dean will return to WWE.
But here's my big question. And I'm kind of sad to ask this. Does this mean, is this because he's divorcing his wife?
No. Oh, no.
Renee.
No.
Renee.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No,
I don't think
you don't
so.
think you don't think we will hear he's released and they are splitting apart?
Mm-mm.
Renee Young and him is married, by the way, for people that don't know.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think it's because of that?
Mm-mm. I think what it is, Dean has had a very busy, very hectic schedule these last several years.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the staph infection scare, which almost killed him,
Yeah.
I just think there's been a lot of stress for him, and he probably thinks that re-signing would give him more stress, and he doesn't really need that at this point. I mean, the guy has done just about everything possible to do in WWE. I mean, he's been a world champion. He's won the Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, the tag title.
But
he's,
I agree. But I don't. He's pretty young still.
Well, he's in his
So
early 30s. I mean,
yeah,
but
I don't think this means retirement though.
no.
And that's why I'm asking, like, with the schedule. Here's the reason why I was thinking was what I was thinking. With the scheduling they had now, Renee and him could be together because they were more or less on the same show,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if he's with another company, that means less time with his wife.
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up, because there's been no discussion whatsoever of Dean going to any other organization at this point in time. I think what will happen is Dean's just going to take a break from the business. I don't think he's going to care about AEW or Ring of Honor or New Japan or Impact or any other organization at this point in time. I think he just needs a break. He wants a break, and he definitely deserves it, because I'm sure he has other interests.
Oh yeah, but I just have a sneaking suspicion that I'm right. Sadly,
Well, I have to wait and see.
we will see. I think it depends a little on what she does.
Mm-hmm.
If she's staying with the company, is that going to create friction?
No.
Is there bad blood between him and WWE? Is that why he's leaving? Like, there has to be another reason than just, oh, I'm tired. Because if he's, oh, just I'm tired, then he could ask WWE for a break and vacation time instead of going outside WWE.
Right. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him for the last 2 months of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to use him? And then what he does from there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Now, to stay with this, Hideo Itami, who we saw in the pre-show on the Royal Rumble, finished up with WWE this week. He asked for his release, and he got it. And his last match was this past Tuesday on 205 Live. Now,
that I understand more,
yeah.
to be honest,
Now,
because
the catch,
they haven't done anything creative with him.
Now, the catch with Itami is, once he has, once they've, agreed to the legal mumbo jumbo stuff, he has agreed to not wrestle for 90 days. So basically, it's the whole 90-day rule that they used to have back in the day, where it's like, oh, you can't wrestle for WCW or ECW. So Itami, he's gone from the company. I think he's going to end up going back to Japan. I think he's going to go back. He's going to become Kenta again. And I think he's going to regain his mojo, because when he first came, the hype was so huge. And this is the rare instance where Itami's push or lack of push really is not WWE's fault. It's just he got injured, a number amount of times. And it's a little bit hard to rebound from that. So, no one's at fault for him not being as big as he should have been, because he should have been huge. I mean, he was, very popular in NXT. He should have been huge, and once he got up, but injuries happen, and he just got injured a lot. So
yeah, no, I feel very sorry for him. I think he was promised something that he definitely didn't get. The push from WWE was, according to my eyes, absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did absolutely nothing with him. He could be been so much bigger in WWE.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand what they were thinking. I don't think they picked him up to do the job he did on 205 Live. I mean, on WWE main shows, he's been more or less, other than pay-per-views, I'm talking now, he hasn't been there. Like, right. We haven't seen him. And, yeah, I totally understand why he didn't want to be there, because why would you?
But I think once the 90-day clause is done, I really see him going back to Japan. I think he's going to go back to Pro Wrestling Noah and compete there. But the one thing to mention, to wrap up this story, is he was the first big Japanese signing that WWE made long before they got Balor, Nakamura, Styles, all those guys. He was the first. Itami was the first. And I think that's very important to recognize and to say, hey, if it wasn't for this guy being able to go to WWE, who knows if all these other guys go.
Yeah, no, and that makes me even more sad to think about how much he was named when he got in there, and how little they have done for him. Mm-hmm. He's been there for so many years, and I think I can count on one hand how many times I saw him on Raw.
And then one other contract discussion to bring up is Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar is always going to be in the news. But this is a big one.
We're going to talk about that later when I'm going to be a little angry.
Well, there's going to be a bidding war for Brock Lesnar.
Good for him.
It is between WWE, UFC, and All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where I want him?
Nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere. Yeah. Out of WWE, that's for sure.
I don't want him in All Elite. I do not want him in All Elite Wrestling.
I don't care.
Look, I know if you get him, it's a big name, and you're probably getting the biggest name wrestler in the world, but he's not going to be there all the time. Just let him go back to UFC.
No shit, Sherlock.
Just let him go back to UFC.
Yeah.
Let him have fights and failed drug tests.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to talk about that later when I'm so happy what happened on Sunday about that.
All right. So that's really it for the news. There really isn't much news to bring up. So
NXT.
Oh,
Hey,
on.
how? Okay.
Hold on.
Come on.
before we get to you or NXT,
Oh.
we have a special game to play.
Oh, cool.
We do this every year where Fro... Now, this is an award, so we're doing award... This is award season.
Okay, yes.
And this is Pro Wrestling Illustrated. This is the newest edition. I don't know why I was about to hold this up for everyone to see, because we are a podcast. No one can see it.
I think the winner is Moonlight. Is that joke a little old now?
It might be. So
people go like, Moonlight? What? What reference is that?
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go through each category.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the top four, the four, like the four finishers.
Yes.
Top four.
Yes.
Your mission is to get
to
pick who was the winner in each category.
Cool.
So our first one, and I should probably just give you a point now for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Casey Catanzaro, Tomoyuki Oka, Tanera Conti, or Ronda Rousey? Yeah, really.
Yeah. Fro hasn't heard of any of the three others. I wonder which one he will pick. Yeah, no, I'm picking Ronda.
It was Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
By a humongous margin. Okay, let me tell you the difference between first and second place. 80%.
Wow.
That's the difference between Ronda Rousey and the person who finished second.
Wow.
All right. Next category. The Inspirational Wrestler of the Year.
Okay.
Is it Tommy Dreamer, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, or Lufisto?
I think it's Roman Reigns, but I hope it's Cody Rhodes. So I'm going with Cody Rhodes.
It is Roman Reigns.
What a shock!
But Cody finished second in the voting.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that. At least. But like I said, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Right. All right, next category. The Most Improved Wrestler of the Year.
Oh.
Is it the B Team?
Mm-hmm.
Hangman Page?
Mm-hmm.
Velveteen Dream? Or Nia Jax?
Velveteen Dream. That's very easy for me.
Oh, yeah, it's Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, I mean, what the fucking transition Patrick has had.
Yeah. Next category. The Comeback of the Year.
Okay.
Comeback of the Year. Is it Daniel Bryan, PCO, Drew McIntyre, or Shawn Michaels?
Can you give me those again?
Okay. Daniel Bryan, PCO, Drew McIntyre, and Shawn Michaels.
This is a little harder. I'm going with Bryan, I guess.
It is Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I, with all due respect, have no idea why or how Shawn Michaels made it among the final four when he had one
the
match.
Two. I mean, the two others, I totally get.
The other two, I understand.
Yeah. The only thing I was was PCO second?
Third.
Oh.
McIntyre
really?
Was second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, the Woman of the Year.
Ronda Rousey?
Well, she's among the four.
Okay.
There's also Tessa Blanchard, Asuka, and Becky Lynch.
Ooh, With this, is it too late for Becky? No, I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey.
It is Becky Lynch.
It is? Okay.
But only by 4%.
I thought it was a little too late, maybe, for her push, for her to be considered Women of the Year. I totally get it, though.
Right. Next category. Feud of the Year.
Okay.
Is it Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar? AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe? The Miz versus Daniel Bryan? Or Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa?
Well, the correct answer is the last one, but I'm going in with the second one.
What? I think I said it was Styles and Joe?
Yes.
It is Gargano and Ciampa.
Okay, I'm very happy to be wrong about that. I said it was the correct answer, so...
And by the way, these are fan votes for those who...
Yeah,
not figured
that's why I am not voting from my heart. It's what I think.
All right.
I'm happy. I'm really happy to be wrong about that because the correct answer was the last one.
Next one, the most popular wrestler of the year. Is it Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, AJ Styles, or Becky Lynch?
Ooh. AJ Styles.
It is AJ Styles.
I'm going to guess that is very close.
Actually, it's not.
Really?
The difference between him and the first runner-up is 18%.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
Yeah, it was. So now we go from the most popular to the most hated.
I'm going to say Roman Reigns is in this, hopefully.
No, he is not. I think because of the leukemia, he...
Yeah, that's cancer for you.
Yeah. Well, remember, he did win that award last year, but... here are your 4 most hated. You tell me who won.
I still hate him in my heart. So, is Brock Lesnar there?
He is in there.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin, Tommaso Ciampa.
No. I'm going with Brock.
It's Brock. It is Brock. All right, here we go. Here's a fun one. This is like I said when we did that wrestling award. This is my personal favorite category, match of the year. The match of the year. There were a lot of good matches this year or this past year. But which one was named match of the year? Was it Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho from Wrestle Kingdom?
Oh, such a good match.
Charlotte versus Becky Lynch from Evolution.
Oh, such a good match.
Was it Kenny Omega versus Okada, the 2 out of 3 falls match?
Such a good match.
Or Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon?
No, boo. Why the fuck is not even on the list?
I mean, to be fair, that was a good match. I don't think it was match of the year, but it was a good match.
Match of the year quality?
The match of the year. I would say that was the most entertaining match of the year.
Oh yeah,
Not the match.
Good, no. I'm going to go with the 2 out of 3 falls.
And you would be correct, sir. 2% difference between that match and the Angle Rousey Triple H Stephanie match.
What? Really?
That close.
That came second?
Yep.
Wow. People have bad taste.
The opinions of Fro are not necessarily those of that wrestler. All right. We got 2 more.
Okay.
Tag Team of the Year. Is it LAX, The New Day, The Young Bucks, or Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly?
The Young Bucks.
It is the Young Bucks. Very good. And our last category, Wrestler of the Year. This can always be fun depending on how the outcome is. Is it Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, or Kenny Omega? Got some good candidates in there.
Really? Yeah. I'm struggling to pick either Kenny Omega or AJ Styles. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega, I guess.
It is AJ Styles.
Okay.
Now,
Was Kenny second?
Kenny was second.
Okay.
Now, I want to point this out to everyone because this is sort of a historic feat, what I'm about to mention. This is the third year in a row AJ Styles has been named the Wrestler of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh, cool.
He is the first person to win this award 3 years in a row since Ric Flair did it in the mid-'80s. And he is only the fourth person to have won this award 3 times or more.
Cool.
And a brief note to mention, they give out sort of like a Lifetime Achievement Award. Pro Wrestling Illustrated does the Stanley Weston Award, named after the original man behind, or the originator, the head man behind Pro Wrestling Illustrated. The recipient this year, Antonio Inoki.
Cool.
So you can pick up the latest issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated at your local newsstand, or if you're into that electronic mumbo-jumbo, go download the Pro Wrestling Illustrated app, and you can subscribe there.
Do it!
Do it! It's still a good magazine. I don't care what people say. It's still good. Alright, now let's get into what everyone's been waiting for. We had a fun weekend, I believe, of professional wrestling in Arizona. We had 2 shows that took place, and let's start with NXT. That's how we usually do it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be controversial, maybe, and say that this is the first time I can remember in very, very, very long time that I thought NXT was the lesser of the 2 shows. Not saying it was bad.
No, it definitely wasn't.
No.
It definitely wasn't. Before we get into our ratings and all that, I do want to mention the ratings that we're going to be reading to you from the Observer newsletter when we get to them. The ratings were done by Meltzer. However, Brian Alvarez and everybody from Figure 4 Online and Wrestling Observer, they had to help out because Dave Meltzer had a bike accident injuring his left hand, so Meltz couldn't really write the new edition of the Observer, so we want to wish Meltzer to get well better.
But would you agree on that?
Oh, that this takeover wasn't as good as the Rumble?
Yeah.
Give me till the end of the Rumble review, then I'll give you an answer.
Okay.
Because I gotta figure it out. Okay, so we begin with the NXT Tag Team Championship match, War Raiders against Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Fro, I'll let you take this one.
This was a good start. It was a fun match. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of one of the teams, so. And I think you can guess which one.
The big guys. Oh yeah.
I mean, they're not bad.
No.
I just.
Oh gosh.
I just don't.
You don't get why people are into them.
No.
I get it. No, I understand. It was the beginning of it was good, and then I thought they slowed down a bit in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But about the last 5 minutes of that match was really good stuff.
Yeah. And so much fun.
Oh, yeah. And War Raiders would end up getting the 3 count and winning the NXT Tag Team titles, which I thought was very good. Because they, O'Reilly and Strong, they had the belts for like 6+ months. It was time to take the titles off them. And War Raiders are a really good tag team. They're a fun team to watch, in my opinion. Originally, I gave this a B+, but I thought about it and I bumped it up to an A-.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't think it was that good. I would say B-.
Okay. Meltzer gave this 4.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And CBS Sports gave it a B. Now, I do want to mention for the record, ESPN did not give any grades whatsoever for this takeover event. They are falling behind on the job, bro. They are falling behind on their job. They're supposed to be the wrestling experts. We're just a bunch of marks. Even though none of us are named Mark. Alright, next up we had a grudge match. Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno.
Oh, what a good match.
Ooh, you might be on your own on that one.
Oh, what an amazingly good match. I really, really liked... No, I didn't. No, this was terrible. This was it was at least the worst match of the night. Why? Why is my question?
Okay, why?
Yeah, why this match?
Why was this match?
Why was this match so bad, and why was it here? Like, I really didn't get it. There was nothing that worked in this match. It's just like I was being very sarcastic. Like
right.
There was something in this match. I saw people online complain about it, and I think it was the pacing of the match.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing of the match was just planned out very terrible, and I think it was something just it didn't work. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have wrestled against each other before, and they're not bad wrestlers.
No, they're definitely not.
So what was it that didn't work? Would you try to explain that?
You know, I think what it is when you have two different, I guess, ways of thinking in wrestling. Sometimes they don't blend very well. Ohno is the veteran. He's been doing this for almost 20 years. Riddle's only been in wrestling like 3-4 years. And Riddle, don't get me wrong, Riddle is over with the fans. He is popular. He really is. It's just sometimes, when you try to mix two things together, it doesn't work. And I think that's what it is. It just didn't connect with people, and it's a shame. Because
have they wrestled against each other before?
They did on an episode of NXT a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
Was that match good?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Although that one was taped, so maybe the taped one was better. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you sort of knew Riddle was going to go over, I think.
Oh, yeah. It was very obvious.
Yeah. But the thing that really got me was the end where Ohno was tapping out and the referee was so far out of position that he couldn't see the original tap out. And then Ohno was like, oh, shit, I got to do it up here. So that threw me. That was a little funny. I gave it a B-.
Oh, you are being too kind, sir.
I might be. I don't know.
I gave this a C-.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Meltzer gave this 3.5 stars. CBS Sports gave it a C. And now we go to what we had said on the show last week, and it ended up being true. The best match of the entire show, probably the best match of the entire weekend. Johnny Gargano challenging Ricochet for the North American title. This was just a fantastic match from beginning to end. There's a lot of spots that we could go over, but, we're not going to because of time. But this just told a really good story. I loved the hell out of this match.
Mm-hmm. Match of the night contender.
Easily the match of the night. Yeah. It was just fantastic to watch. Plus, they were doing, spots that probably some people have never seen before, especially the spot where Ricochet did the jump over the corner on the Gargano from being in the ring. Was just an amazing spot. And it was just a really good story. Gargano, he wasn't sure if he wanted to do stuff to cheat and, if he would do it or not. It just was a fantastic story. I really loved that match. And Gargano winning the match, winning the title was just the appropriate way to go over with this match.
It was... I gave this an A+. And I think one of the reasons why I gave this A+, and it was so entertaining for me, is what we complained about in the last match. Everything worked. The pacing was correct. It didn't feel like it was telegraphed, the ending. I was surprised by the ending. I loved the ending. Good wrestling, and it was just like, I would say if you haven't seen NXT TakeOver, go and see this match at least. It is definitely the best match of the night.
And another thing, I think what made this match really good was how it told a story. Because this match could have been dive, flip, flip, flip. It could have been that. But they went a different route, and they just told a fantastic story. It really was that good of a match. I also gave this an A+. This was a fantastic match. It is worth going out of your way to see. Meltzer gave it 4 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave it an A+.
Cool. CBS is agreeing with us. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the controversial match of the night, and it's not for what you think if you haven't seen it.
No.
Now, did you, at any chance, Fro, did you get a chance to watch the pre-show that they do?
No, I did not.
Okay. So I have to set this scene up. So, doing the pre-show is former football player Pat McAfee and Art Garfunkel's son Sam Roberts, along with Charlie Caruso. So they talk about Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair. That's going to be the next match that we talk about. While in the middle of this, Roberts just goes on the offensive and says that Belair should not be on this show. He said that this match is not a takeover quality match. It would have been good for, weekly NXT, but he didn't think that Belair should be on this show. Just should not be on this show.
Is this storytelling or is it actually what he believes?
That's the tricky thing. I want to say that's what he believes. But at the same time, this could also be storytelling. So it could be either way. And I will give I'm going to say this, especially with this match. Do I think Bianca Belair is talented? Yes, she is. She's athletic. She has the look. My biggest problem is her gimmick. I cannot stand the hair. I can't deal with the hair whip. I think it's too much.
I totally agree.
And it's basically an excuse to say, oh, she's not quite ready yet. When she's got natural hair. She doesn't need this 3-foot long, ponytail on the back of her head to be a wrestler.
But do you know what? It's kind of fun. It's kind of strange because I have the same problem with her as I have with Johnny Impact's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And do you understand what I mean with that? It just feels extremely fake. Like I
if you want me to be honest, she's a dollar store version of Sasha Banks. And I
totally get that.
And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I'm not knocking her. She has talent. She's athletic. I think there's room for her to grow. But this match sort of actually made Sam Roberts' point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she did a decent job, but she's not quite ready yet.
Did she though? Did she really?
Well, although my favorite spot of the match was when Shayna used Bianca's hair and pulled on it, and I'm like, good, it's about damn time somebody used that against her. Other than that, it was a match.
I mean, I had problems rating this because I did not enjoy this match. I'm going to be honest with you. This was maybe also one of the contenders for worst match of the night. I give this a D.
Wow. I'm going to change my grade from what I originally had, because I feel this match was worse than Riddle and Ono. I really do.
I don't, because I gave that a D-.
Right.
But this gets a D, definitely.
I think if Shayna had not been in this match, because Shayna, surprisingly, is the veteran in this match.
And how is that possible? She's the veteran.
I have to give us a C+. It's a low C+. But
yeah, I don't understand how you get to a C at all.
Meltzer.
You're being too nice.
Maybe I am. Meltzer gave this 3 stars. CBS Sports gave it a C+.
Okay.
And we go to the main event of this show. Aleister Black challenging Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT title.
Yeah.
I'll let you take this one.
No, you go.
Okay. This was another good match. This really was. I say of the 4 title matches, there were 3 good ones. And we just told you which one was the worst one of the 4, so... But no, this was a good title match. It told a different story. Ciampa didn't play the cowardly heel in this one, which I actually found
I liked
a little bit refreshing in this one. And Aleister Black went at him, and then once Ciampa went towards the knee of Black, it told a story where can Aleister hit his finishing move, the Black Mass. and it was just a good back forth match with a hell of a heel and a hell of a face, and it was just done very well. And in the end, Ciampa would retain the title after hitting the fairy tale ending, which is probably now my favorite named finishing move in all of professional wrestling. I love that name. I never heard that until that night. Love the name. I gave this an A.
Oh, I gave this a B plus.
Okay. Meltzer gave this 4 stars, and CBS Sports also gave it a C plus. And then at the end of the show, we saw Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano standing next to each other at the entranceway, holding their respective titles.
That was weird.
Let's take a look at our Facebook group and what they thought of the show. Most people gave this show an A, as it usually has gotten, I think, since we've started doing these polls. Meanwhile, some people gave it a B, so pretty much a pretty positive thought from our Facebook group.
Yeah, and I am going to be the grumpy one. I'm sorry, people. This gets my first C.
Well, that's still a good grade, though.
Yeah, I mean, I gave so many matches low scores, and that's like I said, I didn't hate it. I just did not think it was all that.
No, that's understandable.
I wonder if it is one of my least favorite NXT shows.
And that's saying something, because they usually have great shows. And this was I thought it was another good show. It wasn't like an all-time great, but I thought it was a good show. I just think that Ricochet match and the NXT title match really put this show over to an A grade for me. I really do. But it could have been a B as well. It could have gone either way, but I'm going to go with a B. Favorite match from our group is a tie between Black and Ciampa and Gargano and Ricochet. That surprises me. I'm going to go with Gargano and Ricochet.
Definitely.
And then least favorite match, most people went with Riddle versus Ono, followed by Belair and Baszler. I'm going to give it to the women's title match.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like I said, I have the same problem with her as I have with the wife of.
Yeah. All right.
Talking about TNA for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
How good is TNA lately? Jesus.
All right.
So good.
Can I tell you my problem lately?
Yeah, come on.
And it's not with TNA. It's actually not about TNA being the problem. The problem is the damn channel. Because no, let me tell you why, Fro. Let me tell you why.
What a shock.
No, it's the way they structure it. Because I always have the shows recorded on the DVR, right? Well, for the last 2 weeks, when they've listed Impact, they've listed them as 4 30-minute episodes. Come on! Give me a break. But thankfully they got it fixed, so I'll have it recorded tonight.
But it's really fun. They are doing something with the women's division that is interesting. They have a very good women's division.
Yeah. Alrighty. Now it is time to get into the Royal Rumble.
I can't wait to talk about this. And again, thanks to Grass Dragon and Luke for keeping the both of us company.
Yeah. And keeping you awake, anyway.
Yes. I was awake for the whole pay-per-view for once.
Well, there were points where you were quiet, but we understood why, though.
Yes.
So, okay.
I was trying. Full disclosure, I got. We will talk a little about this later, but on Sunday, Luke told me, "Oh, by the way, my computer said we can't do another digital citizen." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I was there for that, folks. But if anyone was curious, so.
And I got a little desperate, so I was working in the background to find the solution for that while I was watching the pay-per-view.
All right, so for this one, ESPN does come into the mix with their thoughts, making that sarcastic. We're going to go through all the matches, and especially the 2 Royal Rumble matches, because I have my my notes about this, so we'll see if they match up with what everybody else said or knew or whatever. So, we start with the kickoff. There were 3 kickoff matches for the Royal Rumble, which is pretty usual, you know. That and WrestleMania, usually they get about 3 matches. So, they get the worst match out of the way first.
Oh,
Bobby Roode.
What a terrible match.
Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Scott Dawson and Razor. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, how in the hell did this match get, how did it come together? Well, let me tell you, folks. There was a backstage segment that only the people at home got to see. So, Drake Maverick was interviewed. He had just come out of, I believe he came out of Vince's office. I don't remember. So, he told, we'll just call her Miss Interviewer, because I don't remember who it was. That
wasn't her name Miss Interviewer, though? I think it was Miss Interviewer, yeah.
I don't know. So, Drake explains that because Akam is injured, which is a legit injury,
mm-hmm.
He's going to be on the shelf for a while. And the Revival, they've had 3 shots at the tag team titles. So, Vince said to Drake that he should take Razor and form a team with Scott Dawson of the Revival. And if they win the match, then both teams would get a future shot at the tag titles. Okay. Well, that's about as good of an idea as nothing. This just was... I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I really don't. It's like the most random, last-minute match you could think of. It really is. I mean, it I don't know what else to say, Fro. I really don't.
It is so. I don't have words for how stupid this match was.
And here's the other thing. You can't say that you don't have any other tag teams that you could put out there to have a match with Roode and Gable. You got the B team. You've got the Ascension. You got Slater and Rhino. You got the Lucha House Party. Why not use them?
No.
Roode and Gable win. I gave it a C-.
Oh, you are being very, very, very nice. I gave this a D-.
And it's nothing against Roode and Gable. This is not their fault.
No. It's the 2 other jerk twats that can't wrestle.
Why would you put those 2 together? That's all I'm going to
I
say.
have no clue, and they did not.
Meltzer gave this match 2 stars.
Mm-hmm.
CBS Sports gave it a C-. ESPN doesn't give 2 shits. They didn't rate this match.
I wouldn't give 2 shits about this match either, to be honest.
Okay. Next.
But then we have the best of the pre-show matches.
Well, until tragedy struck. Shinsuke Nakamura challenges Rusev for the U.S. title.
Oh, you don't agree that this was the best match of the pre-show?
Oh, no.
Really?
I'd say it's the second best.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, full disclosure, I did not watch the third match of the pre-show because I was busy with other things.
Okay.
But it was the bit. Of the three matches, I thought this was the best of the 2 I watched. Definitely. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to get some water real quick.
Oh, I was like, it's Bill.
I'll say this about the match.
Wasn't the third one really quickly over though?
The third one?
Yeah.
It went. How long did it go? The third match went 12 minutes.
I guess I need to see that again then.
Okay, but with this U.S. title match, I mean, it told a story. At least we had something to go off of. And it was a decent match. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a decent match.
I like this.
And then we get the ending, which was a good ending because it's gonna impact something much later in the night. So Lana gets on the apron because she sees Nakamura doing something, and she's trying to tell the ref, and Shinsuke gets in her face, and here comes Rusev. Rusev runs, accidentally knocks Lana off the apron, and she hurts her ankle.
I like the storytelling in this when we're talking about the women's match, though. That is so funny.
Especially when we get to the women's rumble a little later.
Yeah.
Shinsuke hits the Kinshasa, and Shinsuke wins back the United States title. I gave this a C.
I give this a C as well. We totally agree.
All right. Meltzer gave this 2 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave it a C+, and ESPN still doesn't give a shit about kickoff shows. Now, I do want to mention real quick, before we get into the next match, Shinsuke's reign would not last long. Because 2 days later, Shinsuke would lose the title to R-Truth. Yep. Alright. Now to our third and final pre-show match.
I hate hot potato wrestling. That's one of my least favorite things about wrestling is, and if people don't know what hot potato wrestling is, that is where you have a transition champion. I hate that.
That might be a new term that you just created. You might want to have that trademarked.
But have you never played hot potato?
Oh, I played hot potato. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I played.
So it's back and forward, back and forth. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. Then we go to our last kickoff match. It is a 4-way for the Cruiserweight title. Buddy Murphy defending against Hideo Itami, Kalisto, and Akira Tozawa. Since Fro did not see this match, I'll take this one. This was a good match. Buddy Murphy, every time I see him, he's just more and more improving as the Cruiserweight champion. I mean, it's impressive to see what he has become since he won the title. And, Itami and Tozawa and Kalisto were 3 very good challengers. I think if he had 3 separate title matches with each one of them one-on-one, they would have been very good matches. But the 4 of them together put on a real good match. This one probably would not have been good for the main show, considering everything else that happens. But this was still a good match. I'd like to see more of the Cruiserweight title on the main pay-per-view more often. Buddy Murphy got the win with Murphy's Law. I gave this a B.
Oh, I give this a B as well. Are we agreeing? Is this the pay-per-view where we are going to agree a lot?
Maybe.
No, I didn't give this a rating because I didn't watch this. I was joking.
Right. Meltzer gave this 4 stars, and CBS Sports gave it a B+.
Cool.
All right, so now we're going to go to the main show. And ESPN, welcome from your half-assed job of covering the pre-show.
I mean, the pre-show is the pre-show.
I know. But damn it, if you're going to cover the whole show, you got to cover the whole show, you know? That's just my thought. Opening match. Becky Lynch challenging Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title.
Yeah. Why?
Why
It
not?
was this first. Yeah, I was surprised that this was first.
In a way, it sort of had to be.
Yes, because of what's to come. Yes.
But this was a very good match. I enjoyed this match a whole lot. Just good back and forth. I think Asuka has gotten so much better than she was at this time a year ago.
A year ago? Yeah.
And, you know, it's amazing. What's amazing is how after the 2 times that she fought Carmella, the women's title, and we thought, that's it. You know, they're not going to push her. There's no way. You know, I'm
really happy to be wrong.
Yeah, I am too, because I loved Asuka from when she first started in NXT. I mean, it just goes to show if you just stick with it, good things do happen. It really does. And it's the same with Becky. If you just stick with it, good things will happen. This was a fun match, back and forth, all the way around. Then we get the finish where Asuka puts in the Asuka lock on Becky, and then she converts it into cattle mutilation, Daniel Bryan's old submission move, and Becky taps in the ring, which was a big surprise. But Asuka retains the title in a very good opening contest. I gave this a B+.
Oh, do you know what? It's funny.
Okay.
I gave this a B+. I'm not even joking. Yeah.
Meltzer.
People are going to think this is a conspiracy. It's not.
It's really not, because we don't tell each other's grades until we're recording. We really don't. Meltzer gave this 3 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A-, and ESPN rated it 3 3/4 out of 5. Then we had the SmackDown Tag Team titles, where The Miz and Shane McMahon challenged Cesaro and Sheamus for the titles.
This much.
Okay, I take it that you didn't.
This much. This much.
Okay, I think we get
it. Okay, for people that thought it was the Brock Lesnar match that made me mad, nope.
I thought it was. You got me fooled.
Yep. This decision is bullshit. Shit. I'm not even going to spell it out. Take us through this awful match. Awful.
Well, this match, now to be fair.
No,
I have to be fair for this one.
No, there's nothing fair about it.
At least At least it was the Miz who was getting in trouble in the match, not Shane.
Well, that's true, but the ending of it. Okay.
I know you're not a fan. Well, no, actually, well, I'll get into it in a minute. Mrs. Dad was at ringside. You know, future WWE Hall of Famer, Mrs. Dad.
I will tell you what, she did a better performance than what was in the ring.
Oh no. Do I want to know?
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Dad.
Yeah.
Watch. You know what? I'm going to call it right now. At WrestleMania, Mrs. Dad will be the guest referee for The Miz versus Shane McMahon.
Yep.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
So at the end of the match, Miz hits skull-crushing finale, and then Shane hits a shooting star press. And Shane and Miz are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Why?
Storyline purposes, Fro. Storyline purposes.
Oh, this is so fucking bullshit. This is so bullshit. I will tell you why this is bullshit. And people out there can tell me that I'm wrong.
Okay.
But a theme of Sheamus and Cesaro against the Miz and Shane on paper is a fucking walkover. A fucking walkover. We are talking about a person that really doesn't wrestle that much and hasn't wrestled in years. Yes, I know he has had matches, and he's compared like with two of the best wrestlers that WWE has in their tag team, and they're doing this. This is a swerve. This felt like, and I'm not fucking kidding you. I was so destroyed in my head after the pay-per-view. Like there and then, okay, it's funny, haha, it's a gimmick. But the thing is, it's very, very, very bad for the tag team division. It's extremely bad for the tag team division to have champions that haven't even worked together. This does not work. I understand there's storyline purposes for this. I understand where they're going. It's very clear that Miz is turning heel on Shane. And for people that don't understand booking, but it's so fucking clear that I can see it from the moon. And from the moon you can't even see the Chinese fucking wall. It is so clear for me that this is just to continue a storyline. And I don't want that in a title change. I don't want them to get involved with this. They could have lost the title change. They could not made this the title change. Sorry, and still have the same storyline. That's what WWE doesn't understand. They could have the Shane Miz storyline without them having the titles. I mean,
if you like,
it doesn't make me angry or something.
If you'd like to hear more of Fro's rant, call the That Wrestling Show hotline at 1-900.
But don't you agree to a certain point? I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. I'm just saying that do your storytelling outside of the division, because we had two very, very, very strong wrestlers in Sheamus and Cesaro that has had that title for quite a while now, And this is pissing on that title. It's pissing on it's the title I'm more afraid of. It's not really the wrestlers involved, but the title. The title now is more or less vacated. Because we know where this is going. We know they are splitting up. We know that's going to happen, and we know it's probably going to be a WrestleMania match.
But here's the thing, though, and this is why I'm not as upset as you are, because I honestly believe that by the time we get to WrestleMania, Miz and Shane are not going to have the tag titles.
I totally agree, and that's the problem. The problem is that the title, again, hot potato wrestling. It's hot potato changing. It's changing back and forward. It's making the title mean absolutely nothing by putting it on Shane and The Miz.
Okay, but can I make a counter argument?
Yes.
We had the same situation a while back. This was before you became a fan. With Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. They became tag team champions, and they ended up facing each other at WrestleMania when they were both the tag team champions. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Eddie and Rey was worse or is worse than Shane and Miz, because it's not. Eddie and Rey were full-time wrestlers. Miz is a full-time wrestler. Shane is someone who does 4 or 5 matches a year at most. But I just wanted to...
But isn't it a problem having, and we will talk about this again when we talk about the fucking Brock Lesnar match. Don't think I'm not angry about it, but I'm not as angry at it because I understand what they're going for when we see who wins the Royal Rumble. But don't you agree it is kind of pissing on Sheamus and Cesaro's reign by putting it on someone that has not have had more than 4 matches a year?
Maybe. I don't know.
Isn't it kind of saying, oh, they are better than Sheamus and Cesaro? They're not better than Sheamus and Cesaro. And how cleanly they won is another problem. They won cleanly. If it was, let's say the Miz did something dirty behind Shane's back and Shane didn't see it, I would be more fine about it. But the way they go over by just laying down, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take it you did not give this a high rating.
No.
I didn't think so.
And ladies and gentlemen, yes, I will rant again on this episode, so hold your horse. I'm not done.
All right, give us your grade.
Oh, this gets D minus.
I gave it a B minus. But that's just me. Meltzer gave it...
See, we don't agree on everything.
There you go. Meltzer gave this 3 1/4 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B, and ESPN gave it 3 1/4 out of 5. Then we have the Raw Women's Title match: Sasha Banks challenging Ronda Rousey.
Wow. Yeah.
It was good.
It was decent. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
Of the 2 women's matches, I would say this is the less of them.
Oh, yeah. But considering, she's fought Charlotte, she now has fought Sasha, and then the next night she fights Bayley, and with what we're going to go through at the end, she's going to face, at some point, all 4 horsewomen of WWE.
Yeah,
I think
it's very good storytelling.
No, this was a good storytelling. I thought it was a good, decent match.
Yeah.
Ronda gets the win. I think that was pretty obvious. Ronda was going to win that match. But Sasha gave it a good fight. I gave it a B.
Oh, I give this a B plus actually.
Okay. Meltzer gave this 3 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B plus, and ESPN gave it 3.5 out of 5. Now we're going to get into probably the most controversial match of this show, and it's not because of what you think it is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, haven't you said that before?
I think I have. And it's the second night in a row with women. What a surprise. No, it is the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Oh, what a good match.
So, on commentary for this match are Beth Phoenix and Renee Young joining Tom Phillips and Corey Graves. So it's a 4-person commentary team, but it's understandable because it's the Royal Rumble. That is understandable. So I have the order of entry in front of me. And let's start with number 1 and 2. Lacey Evans. This is her debut match in WWE.
Yeah, and what a debut it was.
The number 1 entrant into the Rumble. Natalya.
What a debut it was. Amazing. She did it really, really good. I was really, really surprised by her.
I don't know. It's just because we talked about her last week on the show, and how one of our guests compared her to a certain female character from Gone with the Wind.
Yes, I heard that.
And it sounded like it again in her promo. It's like, I am going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to eliminate everybody, and I'm going to headline WrestleMania. So yeah, Lacey and Natalya were 1 and 2, and then 3 through 5, Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan, Mickie James. Liv Morgan, first one eliminated, probably the quickest elimination of the night for the women. She gets in the ring, goes after Natalya, goes over the top rope, and she's out. 6 through 10, Ember Moon, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Tamina. When Billie Kay came out, she did not enter the ring. She said she was going to wait until Peyton came out. So, okay, now this part I missed because we were all talking while watching the match.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, at one point, Renee Young asked if there's anything in the rules that says you have to get in the ring. To which Dave Meltzer's reply is one sentence, all capital letters. You are doing commentary. You tell me. I mean, he's got a good point. I mean, you're at ringside. You should tell us. Is she, can she go in the ring? No. But in all seriousness, what Jim Boy Star and we've discovered, or we've figured out, watching these Royal Rumble matches, is once you have gone out, or not gone out, that was a poor choice of words. Once you have made your way towards the ring, and you are around ringside, that makes you that makes you an active participant. You do not have to enter the ring, but once she was out there at ringside, she became an active participant in the match. So that's what we've discovered doing that show. So 11 through 15, Xia Li, Sarah Logan, Charlotte at number 13, Kairi Sane at 14, Maria Kanellis at 15. Now, I got to ask you, Charlotte at 13, was that a little surprising for you?
Yes.
I thought so, too, because she was out there I thought she would have been a little bit later, but that's just the booking. 16 through 20, 16 Naomi, 17 Candice LeRae, 18 Alicia Fox, 19 Casey Catanzaro, and 20 Zelina Vega. And Vega sort of steals the Rumble for a little bit. Because during this, she tries the old method of, hey, I haven't been eliminated. I'm going to go under the ring. I'm going to stay there till about the end. So we have that going for a while. Then we go 21 to 25. 21, Ruby Riott. 22, Dana Brooke. 23, Io Shirai. 24, Rhea Ripley. And 25, Sonya Deville. Now, it is at this point in the match, about this point, where Zelina takes a look to see what's going on in the ring. When all of a sudden we have a surprise guest joining us. One we never thought. Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle came out.
Why?
Well, I mean he lives down there.
But still, why?
Why not? Someone's invading your... Look, if someone's invading your house, wouldn't you want to go see what's going on?
Yeah, but this is just stupid.
I'm just saying. Then we get to the last 5, and this is where things really get very interesting and very good. 26 is Alexa Bliss. 27 is Bayley. 28 is Lana. 29 is Nia Jax. 30 is Carmella. So, if you remember a while back from our review of Rusev and Nakamura, Lana sort of twisted her ankle. So, she makes her way out. Now, like I said a moment ago, once you have started to make your way, you are an active competitor in the match. So, Lana is walking really slow to the ring. I mean, really slow. She's walking like my poor mama does.
But this was funny, though.
This set up really good.
Yeah.
Because Nia Jax comes out at 29. And she beats up Lana. She goes for the ankle. And Carmella comes out at 30. So, it's basically at this point, okay, Lana more than likely is not going to make it. Well, here comes Becky Lynch all of a sudden. And she's talking to Fit Finlay, one of the guys backstage.
So funny.
She tries to get put in the Royal Rumble in Lana's position.
Oh,
So it's basically a decision of, do you just take Lana out of the match, never makes it, she's due to medical condition eliminated, or do you replace her? And she is replaced by Becky Lynch, and the crowd goes berserk. They go wild. Becky Lynch now is the 28th entrant replacing Lana. And we get a lot of good stuff here, a lot of good action. The final 4 ultimately comes down to Bayley, Charlotte, Nia Jax, and Becky Lynch. Pretty much, I would think the 4 you probably would have wanted at this point.
Oh yeah, and in our drawing, it's kind of funny because Luke picked Flair,
Mm-hmm.
and then, so yes, when we talk about it, you will understand why I find that a little funny.
So Bayley gets eliminated by Nia, and then Nia gets eliminated by Becky Lynch. So we're down to Charlotte and Becky. But before Becky could get back in the ring, because Becky was on the floor outside, Nia pushes Becky off the steps, and Becky twists her knee. So now we're into the situation of, okay, is Becky going to be able to continue this match? You know, because if she can't get in the ring, Charlotte wins the Rumble. So Becky is able to get back in the ring. We get a good back and forth action, and Charlotte goes for a big boot, misses. Becky throws her out, and Becky Lynch wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. And the controversy is, there were people who did not like this match, and there were people who really liked this match.
I loved this match. This is the best female Royal Rumble of the two we have had.
I would agree with that. I mean,
by a mile.
I thought it told a better story.
So good.
It told a better story.
Was it a little predictable?
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that we got to that point makes it a good story.
Yeah.
And we should give an MVP award to Natalya, who was the number 2 entrant in the match, made it to about the final 7 or 8, and she was in that match for 56 minutes.
She was doing amazing.
And actually, she had some eliminations. She had 1, 2 eliminations during that match. So she did pretty good out there. But Becky Lynch wins the Royal Rumble match. Will now go to WrestleMania to face the champion of her choice, which, well, I think we all know what it is by now.
Yes.
I gave this an A. I just love
Really? I gave this an A+.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
My favorite match of the weekend.
Meltzer gave this 3.25 stars.
Wow, that's low.
CBS Sports gave it a C.
Whoa! Whoa! That's just wrong.
ESPN gave it a 3 out of 5.
Wow. People, Jesus Christ.
I think, but here's the thing, though. With this match, the one thing that makes the Royal Rumble match the Royal Rumble, doesn't matter what it is, to me, besides telling a good story. Did you have fun watching this match?
So much fun.
If you had fun watching this match, then you enjoyed the match. And I did. Was it long?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long, but, you know, it told a story. You got to point A to point B. Alright, so after that, the WWE title match was next. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. And we all noted, while watching this show, how these guys were doing the best that they could with the crowd pretty much tired from that last match. And it was a good match for the most part.
I mean, it was a good match. It was definitely the people that was there that wasn't into it. That was the main problem.
And Daniel and AJ, they could just have a good match anytime. They really could. And,
and
for a while, I thought they were having a good match. Until we get to the end.
Yeah, the ending is kind of...
Because Eric Rowan returns.
Yeah.
Eric Rowan, remember him? He comes out and he attacks AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan pins AJ to retain the WWE title. Although what happened Tuesday, I don't know if you saw the picture or not, Fro. But,
no.
Oh my God, this might be the best thing I've seen in a long time. Let me get the picture. So you know how sometimes champions, depending on what it is, they have a custom-made belt for them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I saw this picture with the hemp title. Yes,
Yep. The eco-friendly WWE Championship made out of 100% hemp. This is like the best thing I have seen in a long time. If that goes on sale, I am going to buy a replica of that title.
it looks so good.
Oh, it looks great. I gave this match a B+.
A B-.
CBS Sports gave it a C. ESPN gave it 3 3/4 out of 5. Now we go to the Universal title match. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. I'm going to say this. I thought the way that match was, 2 things came out of this. Number 1, Finn Balor came off looking like $1 million.
Yes.
He really did. And number 2, and I think this is the most important thing, for the second pay-per-view in a row, Brock Lesnar looked beatable. And that's something that you need to tell. Because at Survivor Series, Daniel Bryan almost beat Brock Lesnar. Here, Finn took Brock to the limit. And there were times where it looked like Balor's gonna win the title. It really did. He hit the coup de grace. It is pronounced coup de grace, not coup de grace or coup de grace. That's something that bugs me. Just real quick, you've heard that saying 1,000 times. Why are you gonna mess up the saying? And I'm not a grammar Nazi. I'm really not. But come on, even I know it's coup de grace, not coup de grace. You don't call Mardi Gras Mardi Gras.
And this is maybe the reason why I'm not as angry at this as...
Because you're not being a grammar Nazi?
No. Then the other match. I like this match. This is one of the best matches Brock Lesnar has had. And it had nothing to do with Brock Lesnar, that's for sure. Finn Balor is just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I'm not as angry at this is because I kind of expected it.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, I predicted something else. I'm not angry at it because of the prediction. It's making the title weak. I have ranted about that before, but very, very, very short. I will say that WWE doesn't fall on Brock Lesnar having the title or not.
Right.
But do I think they will do themselves a big favor by giving it away at WrestleMania? Yes.
I would think.
And I will probably say that if they don't give it away on WrestleMania, then I will be more disappointed than I was now.
So
because I didn't really think it was that bad a decision. But if they don't give it away at WrestleMania, I think they not only shot themselves in the foot, but shot it with a fucking cannon.
So basically what you're saying is, if Brock Lesnar does not lose the Brock Lesnar Memorial Championship at WrestleMania, then they will have blown a huge opportunity, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
That's more or less, and I don't think that's controversial.
No, that's pretty much the truth.
Yeah.
I gave this match a B+. It was a short match, but it was a fun short match.
I give this a C plus.
Okay. Meltzer gave it 3 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A minus.
Whoa! Shit!
And ESPN gave it 3 3/4 out of 5. So now we go to, well, the last match. There's only one match left. It is the men's Royal Rumble match. Now, before we get into it, I think there's a couple things we should point out. One, Jerry the King Lawler and JBL joined Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary. That's one thing.
That was nice of them.
The other thing was the time. Because we all noticed the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, they have they have 15 minutes. How are you going to get everything done in 15 minutes? And I think it was Luke who was like, oh, they'll just run the clock every 5 seconds. But you know, because they have the WWE Network, they can go over the time. So, you know, they're allowed to do that. Okay, so let's get this started. Entry number 1 is Elias. He is the first entry. Entry number 2, Jeff Jarrett. You're not hearing that wrong. Jeff Jarrett, number 2.
Yeah, why?
And Jeff Jarrett did not look good in his old tights. Oh my god, I did not need to see that.
No, not at all.
Okay, but we did have, but it was an entertaining beginning because Elias is like, you know, I get interrupted all the time, but this is an exception. And Jeff's like, you know, how about we do a duet? And the fans are like, yeah, let's do a duet. And then Elias hits Jarrett with the guitar. And that's how the Royal Rumble starts. 3 through 5, number 3, Shinsuke Nakamura. 4, Kurt Angle. 5, Big E. Now I did hear Kurt Angle was a last-minute replacement, Fro. Because it was originally going to be Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was going to be in this match, and then they're like, you know what? We're going to put Kurt Angle in. All right. 6 through 10. 6, Johnny Gargano. Ooh.
Yeah.
7, Jinder Mahal. 8, Samoa Joe. 9, Kurt Hawkins. 10, Seth Rollins. Again, I will ask you the same question. Were you surprised at how early Seth came out?
Yes.
What would you, if you had to guess, where would you have thought he would have come out at?
Around 20 somewhere.
Okay. Number 11 is Titus O'Neil, and we have a funny moment. Well, quote-unquote funny moment.
I liked it.
So Titus O'Neil is making his way to the ring. And if you remember, folks, the last time Titus O'Neil ran down to the ring for a Royal Rumble match, he slid headfirst underneath the ring. Because, you know, it was the funniest moment in the history of professional wrestling. I mean, my God, there was not a funnier thing that ever happened in the 100-plus years of professional wrestling than Titus O'Neil sliding underneath the ring. So, how does the sequel go? Titus runs, and he stops himself before he gets in the ring, and the fans cheer him. Now, Kurt Hawkins is underneath the ring. He sees Titus. Titus sees Kurt. So, Titus chases Kurt. They get in the ring. Titus tries to dump Kurt out. Kurt brings the top rope down. Titus O'Neil gets eliminated by Kurt Hawkins. To which one of the announcers asked, is his losing streak over because he eliminated somebody?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say no.
That's funny.
12 through 15. 12 is Kofi Kingston. 13, Mustafa Ali. 14, Dean Ambrose. 15, No Way Jose. I do not remember the first Kofi spot. What was that spot? Do you remember?
No, I don't. The Kofi spot was really in the women's match. Jesus Christ. Talk about
Casey. Oh, yeah. Casey was incredible. She was incredible. Let me read this. Kingston does his spot, which is basically to crab walk with his feet on the apron back to the steps and climb back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. Right. I don't remember that.
Okay, I tend to remember it back in my mind.
Oh man, and I feel bad because I normally remember a lot of things that I just don't remember. No Way Jose gets eliminated in 2 seconds. Then number 16 is Drew McIntyre. He beats up No Way Jose and some of his rosebuds. I mean conga line.
It is the same. Yes, it is the same.
It is. I know.
Yeah. It's awful, but true.
Now, 17 is Xavier Woods. Kofi's about to get eliminated. He does a sunset flip onto Xavier Woods. And somehow, Kofi keeps 1 foot in the air. I don't know how.
This was a really good spot, though.
So Xavier, because remember, he's sort of in this position of like, okay, I got to get him back somehow. He sort of deadlifts him by his waist and sort of carries him back into the ring. So Kingston is still alive, and then Drew McIntyre eliminates both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened. 18 is Pete Dunne, 19 Andrade, 20 is Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews had something on the back of his tights. I don't remember what it was. And it just looked dumb. It just looked dumb on the back of his tights. Oh, I wish I remember what it was. I really do. Oh, man. Okay, so 21 to 25. 21, Aleister Black, which was a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
22, Shelton Benjamin. 23, Baron Corbin. 24, Jeff Hardy. 25, Rey Mysterio. Benjamin was a bit of a surprise. I did not expect him to be in there. That's probably a good thing. Then, this part is where the storytelling, I feel, really begins. 26 is Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley gets in the ring. He's doing his posing. Seth eliminates Bobby Lashley. Lashley's not even in the ring 20 seconds. Lashley is upset. Leo is shocked. They pull Seth from underneath the ring and puts him through the announce table. So Seth is out for a while. 27 is Braun Strowman. Because before the kickoff, they had announced that John Cena was not going to compete because of the ankle injury, which is a storyline injury. Not a real
I'm so happy that I picked John Cena for my Royal Rumble contestant.
So Braun is now the replacement for John Cena. So this probably would have been John Cena's spot.
Yes.
So Braun comes in, goes after Baron Corbin, eliminates Baron Corbin. 28 is Dolph Ziggler, who we have not seen since the Steel Cage match.
Mm-hmm.
And he eliminates Drew McIntyre, which
so
is
fun.
A big surprise. I did not expect that to happen.
But what a good surprise, though.
It was. 29 is Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton. So now we get to... Yeah, exactly. Now we get to number 30. Number 30 is R-Truth. So we're watching this, and we're all saying something's got to happen. because there's no way R-Truth's going to be in this match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And of all people, Nia Jax comes out and attacks R-Truth.
Why?
Why? And
Why?
I don't know. And Nia Jax enters herself into the Royal Rumble match. So she becomes only the 4th woman to ever compete in the men's Royal Rumble match.
But, sorry, isn't there a Royal Rumble before this that was the women?
Yeah.
Was she in that?
Yeah.
So she was in 2.
She was in 2.
That's weird.
So everybody in the ring stops and they're looking. They're in shock. And I think the fans are like, oh shit.
This is just weird and kind of...
It's like Nia could win this. Because,
yeah,
it's WWE booking. They book some weird crap. They really do. So, Mustafa Ali, who had been in the ring a long time, makes a brave effort, but Nia Jax eliminates him. Then Randy Orton gets into her face. And then we get a really good part here where it's like Orton, Ziggler, Mysterio all try to, to get rid of Nia. So Ziggler hits a super kick. Mysterio hits a 619. Orton hits an RKO. Jax gets eliminated eventually. And then Mysterio gets eliminated by Orton. And then Andrade eliminates Randy Orton. So now we are at the point where we're down to Andrade. We're down to Ziggler. Seth is still recovering from going through the table. And Braun Strowman never was eliminated. He got pulled underneath the bottom rope. So he's technically still in the match. This was a very good Final Four. I liked this one. So, Andrade and Ziggler, they're fighting each other in the ring. Braun is able to make it back into the ring. Andrade and Ziggler, they both go over the top rope, but they're on the apron. They're fighting. Here comes Braun trying to eliminate both men. Ziggler moves out of the way. Strowman hits Andrade. Andrade is eliminated. Then, Seth slowly starts to make his way back. Ziggler does everything he can to eliminate Strowman. Can't do it. Ziggler's out. So here comes Rollins. It's down to Braun and it's down to Seth. And they have a good big man, little man fight. And Strowman tries to body slam Seth to the floor. But Seth is able to use whatever ounce of energy he has left in him to pull Braun over the top rope to the floor, and Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble match.
Woo!
And Seth goes to WrestleMania now.
Yeah, against Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Well, I guess he could pick someone else, but...
he wants Brock.
Yeah.
What did you think about the men's match?
I liked it. It wasn't as good as the women's. I liked it. Yeah, it was entertaining.
Now, the one thing that we pointed out during the match, and again, it goes back to the time that they had. The intervals were very quick.
Yes, very.
Because it wasn't always 90 seconds. It maybe at times could have been 50, 60 seconds, and then the next guy comes. Other than that, I thought it was a good Royal Rumble match. There was no way they were going to be able to top the women's. There just wasn't.
No.
I gave this a B+.
I gave this a B+ as well. We totally agree.
Meltzer gave this 3.25 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B. ESPN gave it 3.25 out of 5. And now we go to our Facebook group, our ever lovely Facebook group. What did they think of this Royal Rumble event? Most people gave this show a C. That's fair. Some people gave it a B, and a couple gave it a D.
I would give it a B.
Yeah, I think a B is a good grade. I really do. Although a C is an understandable grade. I would understand that, but I'd give it a B. All right, favorite match from the Royal Rumble. Most people went with the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match. Some people voted for Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey. Some people voted for Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar. A couple voted for Becky Lynch and Asuka. And one person voted for the Cruiserweight title match. So now you have to see that match, Fro.
Cool.
And least favorite match. What was your least favorite?
Me personally, it was the tag team.
Which tag team?
The Sheamus one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a tag team match for me, but it's not that one. It's Rude and Gable.
I know. I can understand.
Most people went with that match as their least favorite match from the
And
Rumble.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I totally understand that, and I respect it.
Some people voted AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan as their least favorite. One person voted Sasha and Ronda, and one person voted Shinsuke and Rusev. So, as we have started the road to WrestleMania, Fro, how do you like the start on this road to WrestleMania?
I'm very happy, but not happy enough to see either Raw or SmackDown. They have not won me back by this pay-per-view. I'm going to give them one more pay-per-view to convince me, but it's a little like you and TNA. You thought the first pay-per-view you watched was amazing, then you need another pay-per-view to be convinced watching TNA again. And I need another pay-per-view to get convinced. If they do WrestleMania good, I will be there.
Well, the next one is the Elimination Chamber, and that's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. That's for sure.
And they got a heck of a match lined up for that. The WWE title is going to be contested inside the Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Mustafa Ali are the 6 competitors. That's going to be a fun match to watch. That's going to be fun to watch. Plus the crowning of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions as well on that show.
Cool.
All right. Well, unless you have anything else, I think we should start wrapping it up for this week. All right. If you guys are actually, why don't you... Exactly that. Follow
you
the
want
show.
Me to tell you maybe what we talked on Another Digital Citizen about?
Yeah, why don't you do that first while I fix my tongue?
Well, this week was a special week because I was the editor, because Luke's computer, like we told you,
it sucks.
Sucked. Yeah. So guess what? We didn't have a main topic. We discussed social media and Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, we didn't have a main topic really. Listen to it. It's still 2 hours long, so we filled it. No intro or outro, and I was the one that edited. I haven't edited a podcast in over 4 years, so it was fun. Right. Go listen to it. Another Digital Citizen on everything that you listen to.
If you would like to follow the show on Twitter, you can follow us at Wrestling Show 11. Join our wonderful Facebook group That Wrestling Show fan group. Just type that in the
and it's now open.
It
so
is
it's
now
very
open.
easy. Very easy to find. We have, as we are speaking right now, 278 members.
Mm-hmm.
Get us up to 300 again.
Yes.
Come on, help us.
And of course, if you can't find it, the link is in the description box, so you guys could go there. Check out the website, thatwrestlingshow.com. Visit the Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcasts.
Where we finally have a member of the group. Thank you again, Scuba Steve.
Yep. Also, this Sunday, during the Super Bowl, the newest episode of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast, will appear, and it is the 2013 Royal Rumble match that we will be talking about on that one. And also want to give a couple of quick plugs to other podcasts that I listen to, and this might start to become a weekly thing to do, to get the word out. First one of my favorites, probably my favorite retro wrestling related podcast in the world, Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Marotta and Michael Quinn, as they take you through the world of retro wrestling. Now, Fro, last week I asked our guests this question. I want to ask you this question. Who do you think is the greatest commentator of all time?
Wow. Wow. I wasn't prepared for that. I really don't know. Morrow, maybe?
Morrow? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, currently they are doing a royal rankings of the greatest announcers of all time, and this week is a little bit controversial. You'll have to tune in to see why it's so controversial. Also, check out Greetings from Allentown. It is a one-man podcast where one man reviews one episode of wrestling each week in his own unique way. He just recently had his 100th episode, so you want to check that out. Greetings from Allentown. Also, we are into the Academy Awards season. Check out the Best Pick podcast, where three lovely British people watch every Academy Award-winning Best Picture in no particular order. This week, they reviewed the 1936 Best Picture winner, The Great Ziegfeld. Was he so great? Listen to their podcast, and you be the judge. And another one that I want to mention, and I'm going to start listening to this one, Cinematic Triple Threat, hosted by a member of our Facebook group, Chris O'Mealy, where he and other guests, they take 3 movies and put them in a triple threat match to decide what is the better movie. Their newest episode came out this week, Fro, and it is a hell of a triple threat match if I've ever seen one. It is Gone with the Wind versus The Wizard of Oz versus Casablanca.
Wow.
That is a...
You want my answer?
Yeah.
Casablanca.
Okay. Well, you'll have to check into their podcast, Cinematic Triple Threat, to see what they picked as the better movie.
Cool.
So, next week on this show, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next week.
We will probably predict maybe something.
Maybe.
I'm going to guess that we will talk about The Masked Singer.
More than likely.
And I'm going to guess that we're going to talk about the Super Bowl.
We might, depending on how it goes. So.
And something about wrestling, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm tired. You're tired. We are tired.
Yeah, we are tired. Everyone, have a good, safe weekend. If you're going to a Super Bowl party, have fun. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. And when you're done, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always, That. Bye.
Bye.